then Planet Hollywood. And then the theme restaurant boom brought us such ill-advised ventures as the All-Star Cafe, the Motown Cafe, and an eatery that I've always been somewhat mystified by, the little bistro bearing the name of the World Wrestling Federation. I don't know about you, but there's nothing that helps me work up an appetite better than a bunch of sweaty, steroid-engorged bikers in leather masks and spandex pants. But now, here comes food, fun, and firearms in the form of the NRA Sports Grill, sort of like a Hooters for shooters, where the food isn't just fresh, it's fresh killed. A place where you only need to squeeze off a round or two to get your waitress's attention. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Would you like to see an ammo list? The hollow points are very good today. Just don't try to stiff her on a tip, because she's packing too. And of all the places to stick this joint, I don't think you could find a better location than here in New York City's Times Square, on the corner of Broadway and the DMZ. That is, unless you want to put it in the Imus in the Morning World headquarters, because with the carnage you wreak around here on a daily basis, Fats, there couldn't be a more violent place on earth if actual gunfire were exchanged. Not 20 minutes after your program director Mark Chernoff's version of the My Lai massacre, the Russ Salzberg and Steve Summers bloodbath, you make their replacements, Susan Waldman and Jody McDonald, feel like Sonny Corleone at the toll booth. You're unbelievable. What is it with you? Why do you like to put two pit bulls into a cage, poke them with sticks, throw in a piece of meat, and then walk away while they fight it out? You won't even hang around to watch the results of your sick, evil handiwork. You act those two new midday hosts like they were Salazzo and Captain McCluskey at that restaurant in the Bronx, Jody Mack, of course, being the one with the spaghetti hanging out his mouth. And then, just like Michael took off for Italy to lay low, you're taking the iJet out to the ranch, leaving everybody at the radio station to go to the mattresses. A massive power struggle amongst the 5 fan families, the Francesas, the Russos, the Benignos, the McDonalds and Waldmans, fighting it out to see who'll rise to take control in the Don's absence. Think there'll be some treachery and deceit? How long until Russo tries to Luca Brasi Francesa? I can see it now. The sports doctor wakes up one morning to find he's sharing the bed with the head of one of those racehorses he owns with Coach Parcells.
Hey, dog, I'm going to make you an offer you can't understand. I'm the fan.
It's 24 till the hour here at the Amsterdam program. Well, you can't make fun of Susan Waldman and Jody McDonald because they're, particularly Susan, is a very nice woman, but just a humorless geek.
Prickly.
Doesn't get
prickly.
it. One doesn't get it, and whines, and so it's not even any fun. So.
Yeah,
and they're horrible, and that will be borne out here by, well, just time will tell. But it's not personal, obviously. We like her; she's very nice.
Certainly,
we're simply trying to, but they just don't. She goes in and whines to the program director. It doesn't do any good, but. So,
well,
I don't know.
It's a joke.
Yeah, and it's just like that. It's just something about that.
On the fan.
But it's fine with us because they suck and we don't care. So
on the fan.
On the fan.
Suck on the fan.
They suck on the fan. 23 to the hour here in the Amsterdam Morning program. Well, McEnroe's coming up, and I watched the Pete Sampras play Mark Philippoussis.
Yeah.
On USA yesterday on the French Open, and it just
didn't happen, did it?
No, I mean he lost in 5 sets.
Right.
Lost 8-6 in the 5th.
3 hours and 39 minutes or whatever that.
No tiebreakers apparently, and or tie breaks, whatever they call them.
Yeah.
In this hideous.
He's out of there.
Tournament, but.
See you, Pete.
But according to McEnroe, which I'm sure he'll.
Yitzhak Rabin says if Netanyahu does in fact win the election, that she just may pack her bags and leave the country.
Oh, come on, baby, lighten up.
The state of Arkansas learns today, come on, baby.
Okay.
Leah Rabin.
The widow Rabin.
Come on, baby, lighten up. Leah Rabin.
You are an idiot.
You are an idiot. You are an idiot.
Chill out, come on, chill, Mama.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Here's what I don't need. She's my ear doctor, and I'm going to continue to go see her. But she looks in my ear, and she goes, ew.
I said, I don't think I need. We don't need to even go on with this conversation.
No. Good thing she's not your proctologist.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
All right, when it comes to investing in the stock.
Well, I'm packing up my game. I'm head out east with Imus in the drank champagne, got forced out of bars. Did a lot of blow, but never did OD. Mike Lupica, his version of that Mitzi Joe C. Got a posse to surround him, cause the more's the merrier. Chuck McCord beat pimping for a Boston Terrier. With crazy brother Fred D. the real McCoy. With a 6X beaver on his head, you know the Iron is a cowboy, baby.
Riding the range, chilling in the saddle.
Cowboy, baby.
Riding the range from New York to Seattle.
Cowboy, baby.
Born of the matter ain't in a good
Iron is a
mood.
cowboy, baby.
Wears a bandana by Joe Boo.
Chauffeured limousine is how he commutes. Got a pair of buffalo foreskin boots. Like a prairie dog, look how the boy dressed. Right out the catalog of Auto Body Express. Bust a cap in your ass. Yo, show your fuzzy peaches. Hates the crass, middle class, all the media leeches. On a mission to destroy all the hoi polloi. Press the meat, I'll meet the press. Use respect when you address him as a cowboy, baby.
Khaki 6 on his hip and 3 in his pants.
Cowboy, baby.
Said he took a bit of mild
The Iron is
circumstance.
a cowboy, baby.
Chaps on his jeans, chapstick on his belt.
Cowboy, baby.
Eating pretzels and buffalo chips.
He the Iron Man, some call him Dawn, kicking presidential ass up and down the South Lawn. He a muckraker, give a killer interview, rocking for the Lakers and his boy Shaq. APC, all over TV, beating CNN's numbers on MSNBC. Abrupt and disrupt when it's time for erupt. Don't interrupt or he blow your ass up. Punctilious, supercilious, he's hideous. No patience for idiots. Sitting on a dais, he looks like Dr. Zayas with a mind more twisted than an Orthodox payas. Call him a meaty, call him a reedy, cause he's a Southwest answer to Benito Mussolini. Some who cheer him, others just fear him. Almost everybody'd rather not be near him. Put it politely, he's a world-class prick. Wear his jeans so tight, see his
Radio edit.
He's amused when he abused all his power and clout. Try to snooze, you're gonna lose. You suck, get out. Cowboy, baby.
Riding the range, chilling in the saddle.
Cowboy, baby.
Riding the range from New York to Seattle.
Cowboy, baby.
Chaps on his jeans, chapstick on his belt.
Cowboy, baby.
Eating pretzels and buffalo chips. Iron Man.
Yeah, Imus in the morning. In your shorts, 2020 sports.
Well, I was just talking to McEnroe about the Knicks, and he's all jacked up about this.
yeah.
Now his new mantra is all the way to L.A.
All the way to L.A.
Which is just sickening.
We're just on a roll now. Pacers biting against each other in the locker room, wondering why their younger players aren't getting the time.
All right.
Talking about, you see Travis Best and Jalen Rose saying, hey, how come you're leaving Mark Jackson and Rick Smits in there?
No, we
we
don't
saw
know.
what happened yesterday with Ewing out of the lineup. The Knicks just ran right past him.
Mm-hmm.
Incredibly gutsy performance
Did you
by the
see
New York
the,
Knickerbockers.
Did you see Roger Clemens and Pedro Martinez?
Incredible
That
game.
was a great game,
That was
wasn't
an
it?
awesome game.
Roger Clemens struck out 13 people.
Yeah.
He should have struck out Trot Nixon in the ninth, but he didn't.
Did not, and then
Must have
bases
accident.
loaded for the Yankees in the bottom of the ninth.
Right. But
Yeah.
Martinez still pitching.
Pedro stayed in there all the way.
And he got out of it. So
Great atmosphere, wasn't it?
it was a great game.
Yep.
I mean, it seemed that way on television. I was not obviously there, but
Packed. Like it was sold out.
yeah. So, but Clemens pitched like Clemens of
old.
Yeah.
He was juiced up.
About time.
Still 4-5 on the season, though.
Yeah.
I understand that, but I mean, well, he lost, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He struck out 13.
Didn't get it done.
No.
Complete game.
Yeah.
Got the L.
Thanks for nothing.
But there were some big L's yesterday at Madison Square Garden.
Larry Johnson made 5 threes, right?
5 for 5 from three-point land.
That's just,
Good grief.
that will not happen with Reggie and all of them down in Indianapolis.
Oh,
That will.
it will happen.
Well, okay.
Oh, it will. The Pacers, they're stumbling now.
Done.
They're over. Finished.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
All the way
Ridiculous.
to L.A.
Oh, they are done.
Yeah, they don't know how to beat them.
Oh, well, okay. See, I have more faith in Lou than almost anybody. Why is that?
Well, I don't know. Well, Lou knows.
Except, I'd explain the Lakers going to Portland winning, too.
I said they were a good road team. I had said that, actually.
Well, he did say that, too.
There you go.
Lou's on top of it.
Lou is on the money.
Lou knows more than you, Warner Wolf,
that's for
Green,
sure.
all you guys.
Combined.
Come on.
Well, anyway, here's McEnroe. Good morning, Mr. McEnroe.
Good morning, Mr. Iman. This Iman Sports Report is brought to you by the Hackensack University Medical Center. NBA playoffs, the injury-plagued Knicks tied the series with Indiana at 2 games all, 91-89. Latrell Sprewell played with a broken bone in his left foot. Marcus Camby weathered pain in his knee. And center Patrick Ewing was in street clothes on the bench through all the adversity and behind Larry Johnson's 25 points. The Knicks are back even. The series is now best 2 out of 3. The Knicks led by 17 at the half, but the Pacers made a second-half run behind Reggie Miller's 24 points. Pacers cut the lead to 1, but at 77-76, it was LJ to the rescue again.
Saved by Camby, able to flip it to Johnson, fires the 3, and hits. Larry Johnson from three-point land. The Knicks lead 80-76.
You know, Bernard was strangely, not so subtly, complimentary and supportive of the Knicks this morning.
Yes, he was.
Well, you have to admire.
Acknowledging a gutsy
Well, no, you
performance.
don't.
Well, deep down, you know he's pulling for the
You don't
Knicks.
admire anything.
You know he wants those Knicks to go all the way
There's
to L.A.
Well, there's something going on that we need to find out about. Anyway, no, go ahead.
Well, Coach Jeff Van Gundy was very happy to see LJ step up in such a big game.
Larry really shot it today, and hopefully he can keep stroking it like that. It was very nice to see.
Yeah, stroking in front of the reporters.
Don't worry about that.
Female reporters in the locker room.
Here's the L train for you.
Yeah, keep stroking it, LJ.
That'll be fine.
Lucy Lou's in the room, or whatever her name is. Lisa Ling.
Come on.
Pacer coach Larry Bird said we were expecting to see center Patrick Ewing in uniform, not in that beautifully tailored suit.
We thought Patrick was going to play today. We went through our walkthrough, and we had Patrick in it, everything.
Meanwhile, Ewing says he is aiming for a return in Game 5 tomorrow night in Indianapolis.
I'm going to continue to get therapy, and hopefully by Wednesday I'll be fine, and I'll be able to play.
I mean, hopefully for the Pacers. They're hoping he gets back in there.
Who needs you?
The Knicks ran right through him yesterday. Tonight, the Blazers try to stay alive in the West. Trailing by 3-1, Portland tries to win for a second time in L.A., this time after dropping 2 at home. Guard Damon Stoudemire says we need some more bench production.
We need our bench to come and give us a spark. You know, I think they gave it to us in Game 2. You know, hopefully they'll give it to us tomorrow.
No, blaming it on the bench. Hey, Damon, how about doing better than 4 points and 5 assists in Game 4 at home?
Well,
maybe that has something to do with it. Unless Lakers go into their cruise control mode of disinterest, this series is over. Stanley Cup Finals open tonight at the Meadowlands as Dallas takes on the Devils. Expect a typical boring defensive devil-like games and expect the Stars to repeat as Stanley Cup champs in 6 games. And lastly, Pete Sampras is out again early at the French Open. The number 2 player in the world has not made it past the 3rd round in 4 years now. The all-time Grand Slam record holder at 12, tied with Roy Emerson, has never won the Slam on the dirt, and unfortunately never will. Here's Pete, frustrated yet again.
Very frustrating when you feel like you played pretty well. You know, you competed and come up short is, it'll be, tough next couple of days, but it's part of what we do as competitors is you're going to have tough moments, and certainly the fun.
Fortunately, Pete, part of what you do on clay is lose. And you are out. Get ready for Wimbledon. That's where he'll break the record. And of 13 Grand Slam singles titles.
Yeah, can't wait.
Meanwhile, Philippoussis...
the record's actually he's tied with Emerson.
He's tied with Emerson right now at 12.
Okay.
Philippoussis, who, by the way, led Sampras 1-0 at Wimbledon last year in the quarterfinals, you remember, before injuring his knee, said, hey, this is no big deal.
Obviously, yeah, definitely a match that I'm very proud of to win. But don't get too excited.
No, why would you get too excited? Beating Sampras on clay?
Yeah.
So lucky.
You could probably beat him on clay. No.
I might have a shot.
Patrick McEnroe here, the Amos Morning Program, coming up on 4 minutes till the hour.
Imus in the morning.
Are you trying to... Analyst?
the late Richard M. Nixon.
Indeed, indeed. Here for my very timely insights into the complexities of our political processes, Imus, in the morning. Such as, why don't they just give Al Gore a sex change? By my figuring, it's the only thing they haven't tried, dude. I'm sure you've seen it. They're giving this moron another overhaul to try to make him appealing to anybody. Jesus. The party's changed him so many times, they could have saved everybody a lot of grief if they'd just gone to a mental institution and gotten somebody with a multiple personality disorder and been done with it. Hell, I'm feeling so sorry for him, I may vote for him. They changed his suits, they stuck him in cowboy boots, they moved his entire campaign headquarters, they slimmed him down, fattened him up, got him in the weight room, had him charging his audiences at those debates. Now, wait a minute, I didn't mean that the way it sounded. I don't mean he was charging, like for admission, not that we found out about it, least, although with this guy you never knew. What I meant was that they had him doing that thing where he'd stride purposefully toward the audience and start screaming meaningless questions at them. Remember? Where are you from? How many children you got? What's your job? Humiliating. Here's the point. Naomi Wolf could send Al Gore to a plastic surgeon with orders to make him look like a cross between Abraham Lincoln and Brad Pitt, and he still isn't going anywhere. Hell, I read he's even starting to lose the senior vote, part of the Democratic Party bedrock, dude. If he's lost women, seniors, and also labor over that China trade deal, who and what's left? The way I figure it, by the time the election rolls around, Al Gore's down to 7 votes. The Baldwin brothers, Katzenberg, Geffen and Spielberg, Ed Asner, and Susan Sarandon. That's it. I mean, by the time this is over, Bill Clinton isn't going to vote for this loser. Okay, what else? The other Clinton, Hillary. Now she's officially running against Congressman Rick Lazio, because Ricky's now the officially installed New York Republican Senate candidate. Here's my problem. Why, when I see this guy, do I think of a kid in a beanie propeller hat? Very disturbing. I've got this mental picture, dude. Rick Lazio, propeller hat, riding in the backseat of his campaign bandwagon and screaming at George Pataki, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" No, Shrimp, you're not there yet. By the way, if you can't walk without pulling a Jerry Ford every few feet, you're not going to get there either. How humiliating was that? Walking down the street in a parade, for God's sake, hundreds of people watching, and he falls over his shoelaces. Goes down like somebody had hit him in the back of the head with a bowling pin. What's that all about? Anyway, we've got to vote for him because he's lived here longer than 17 minutes. Let's see, what else? How could I forget? Fred, your brother, getting hitched. Who's the victim? I mean, the bride. Well, Dick Nixon sends his congratulations to both. I'm sure the ceremony will be very sweet and touching. Your little son, Wyatt, all dressed up, walking down the aisle, bearing the traditional bar of soap. Because the only ring involved in a Fred Imus wedding will be the one in the damn bathtub. Am I right? Oh, if I may, one final Rick Lazio thought. As you embark upon your campaign, Congressman, you've already fallen on your face. May it come to pass then that you don't also step on your... Ouch! Very savvy political and social guidance in the old Dick Scope today, J.D. From Dick Nixon, deceased former president of the United States. And, of course, the real Slim Shady.
Please help me, I'm falling in love with you. Close the door to temptation. Don't let me walk through. Turn away from me, darling. I'm begging you to. Please help me, I'm falling in love with you. Imus in the morning.
All right, where do you go for car insurance?
Yo, Imus in the morning, 2020 sports, fronting the hype, taking a swipe, right with the stereotypes. I think this little dude be sucking on a crack pipe. Wanna whoop.
Good morning, Warner.
Good morning, man. NBA playoffs last night, Game 5. The Blazers beat the Lakers 96-88. Lakers still lead 3-2. Scottie Pippen, who played with a dislocated finger, and Rasheed Wallace each had 22. The Shaq had 31 points and 21 rebounds. After the game, Scottie Pippen was asked about comments from his former coach, Phil Jackson, which he has been making during the series.
Phil is not my coach, so I'm not listening to Phil. And I'm not listening to nothing you tell me about Phil. Have a good day.
Scottie Pippen.
All right. Pick your own company, Scotty. What has Phil been saying?
All during the series, he has comments, and the reporters come to Pippen and say, well, what do you think about his comments?
What did he say?
Not one particular comment.
Oh.
Just the fact that he was his former coach. You see,
I see.
Connecting the two. Yeah. So he's saying, hey, look, he's not my coach anymore.
He hasn't said anything specifically about Pippen?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, no. Like Pippen's a chump or...
Yeah. No, he wouldn't do that.
He wouldn't play.
No.
You remember the time he refused to go in?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Against the Knicks, yeah. And Kukoc made the shot. That's what was interesting about that.
Mama's a hoe or something? Nothing like that.
Oh, okay.
Now, here's the question.
All right.
How come Pippen, who was fined $10,000 for hitting John Sally in the back of the head with his elbow in Game 4, wasn't suspended for last night's Game 5? In other words, if you hit a guy with your fist, you're out. But if you hit him with your elbow, you're not suspended.
I think that's okay.
Elbow's okay.
Don't have a problem with it.
I do not have a problem with that.
Troublemaker.
Bring on a chair.
That's all.
Chair's okay. Tonight, Game 5, the Pacers 5.5-point favorite over the Knicks in Indianapolis. The Pacer owners have offered those Pacer fans who sold their courtside seats to Knick fans last week. They want to buy the tickets back and give them to underprivileged children. Tired of seeing the Knicks fans waving the towels on courtside in Indianapolis.
Here's Richard on line 4. Good morning, Richard.
Morning, Mr. Imus. How are you?
I'm fine. Now, what are you claiming here?
Okay, the other night, the last game in Portland, at halftime, coming out of the commercial break, Bob Costas turned, I don't even know the guy's name, Bob Costas turned to him and referred to Shaquille O'Neal as a 10,000-pound gorilla.
Right.
In the sense of, like, well, you see what happens when there's a 10,000-pound gorilla in the house. Well, I just felt that was not proper. Oh. He could have referred to him as, see what happens when the greatest player in basketball walks in the room.
Right.
You know,
have this on tape?
10,000-pound gorilla.
Do you have this on tape?
I'm sure the NBC's got it. As soon as it happened, I called NBC and you get some kind of taped message.
When was it?
It was the second game. It was the last game in Portland at halftime, coming out of the commercial break.
Yeah, it's Sunday.
Yeah, whenever that, not last night's game, but the game before that.
I find it hard to believe. We'll look for it, too. Warner
All right,
continues.
man, I wouldn't steer you wrong, brother, believe me.
Now, here's the problem with the Knicks, man.
Okay.
If the Knicks play Patrick Ewing and they lose, the fans are going to boo Ewing and Van Gundy out of town. I mean, they're in a serious situation here because they've won 2 games without Ewing.
Yeah.
If they play him and they lose, oh, man, which isn't Ewing's fault.
They're better off without Ewing.
Well, it looks like it. They're a running team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they're greyhounds.
He's not getting it done.
Yeah.
No.
Lumbers up and down the court. He looks like Grady from Sanford and Son. Doesn't he?
Sit him down. It's a dinosaur.
Really? Looks like Bill Cosby playing, doesn't he?
Ozzie Davis.
Yeah, I mean, just...
Well, the time...
I mean, guy's 40 years old. I mean, it's time to,
I'm sick of running up and down this court.
Go down to Wall Street and, get an investment banking job and be done with it.
That's all.
Whatever.
Personally, I hope either the Knicks lose a game without him or they win a game with him. Because otherwise, it's going to be brutal.
It's going to be ugly. Good. That's what we want. Brutality. Ugliness.
Yeah, we want to. No, what are you talking about?
Not ugliness. Make your panties
Absolutely.
Get with the program.
No. We want... that's surly schmuck. No, we want... No, absolutely. Anybody who's fighting with Marv is not our guy, so... You can't get along with Marv Albert. You cannot get along with anybody.
You can't get along with anybody. You got a problem.
Yeah. That's right. So, no. We want it to be a real nightmare. So. Well, is he going to play tonight?
Night to night. Day to day, night to night. Yeah. We won't know till game time.
You notice how we have 2 people doing sports here who you would think would be fairly well connected. Warner Wolf and Patrick McEnroe. You can ask him anything, they know nothing.
Now, wait a minute.
Lou knows. Lou is our go-to NBA guy.
Well, Lou doesn't know it.
You ain't going to play tonight.
Doctors are going to...
What do you think, Lou, will happen?
According to the paper, he's not playing tonight.
Okay, so...
that doesn't mean anything.
Look at all the...
Well, then what do you think will happen, Lou?
What do I think? I don't think he's playing tonight.
Okay, so I'm going to go with that. What do you think will happen?
I think he could play.
Okay, so Warner says he'll play.
No, I said he could play.
Could play.
Oh, well. I mean, look at all...
Well, of course he could play. Yeah. I could play.
He could play President Clinton. Yeah, he could play.
Yeah, he could play. Of course he... Will he play? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Will he play? Yes or no?
I say he'll play. He'll limp out there like Willis didn't play.
He says he's going to play. Lou?
He's not playing.
He's not playing. Okay, we'll see. Lou says he's not playing. Warner says he is playing. We'll see.
There we go.
Okay.
Take a stand.
Let's get it on.
We'd have our positions established.
Absolutely. Warner says he's playing. Lou said not playing.
Play, no play.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
And that means one play. If he gets there for one play.
Oh, any play.
Anything.
Yeah,
Right.
but playing means playing.
He gets on the court.
He plays
Yeah,
on the court.
Yeah.
That's all. A foot on the court.
Yeah.
That's it.
If you had Warner Wolf and Patrick Ewing playing, you lost.
Come on. Hey, I-Man.
Yeah.
How about the guy that made up the Yankee Diamond World Series rings, championship ring?
I don't know about this.
Presented him on Sunday. Instead of giving Roger Clemens his number 22 on the ring, he gave Clemens David Wells number 33.
Oh, my man. Oh, that's my kind of guy.
There you go. Man.
That's cold.
That's what we're looking for.
That is what we're looking
That's
for.
what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Come on, Warner.
That's what you want.
Well,
Oh, man.
Let's get to the apple.
Whoa.
Here you go, Schmuck.
it's been a nice season. All right, come on up on 5 to the hour.
Excuse me, Mr. Officer. You think we're bad, huh? You want to clean up the streets, huh? Well, you better put society in handcuffs. You got a hard job. Music by Bernstein, lyrics by Sondheim. I'm talking about West Side Story. It's before my time. Police sweat me like the sharks in the jets because I do what I does, so they wanna get me. If you let me, I'll explain the game, clear my name, and show you ain't a damn thing changed. So don't criticize the way that I parlay. This ain't Broadway. We learned it the hard way. I'm in the morning.
Skeptics is
after school. So I think it's important to point out that the hours between 3 and 7 at night are the most vulnerable hours for young people to get in trouble. There is this sort of assumption that everybody that gets in trouble when they're young has just already been abandoned. That's not true. Most of the kids that get in trouble after school closes and before their parents get home from work.
Tell your mama, tell your pa, gonna say my dog is so Mama said don't do right. I'm in the morning.
This is WFAN in New York and Infinity Broadcasting Station, part of the Viacom deal now. And here with the news is my friend Charles McCord. Now, the news is sponsored by
Manuel Antonio Noriega, but you can call me by my prison nickname, Denise. That is on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I'm still the boss. Sundays, everybody gets a chance to rest his ass. Which I hope little Ricky Lazio is doing, seeing as he fell on his the other day marching in that parade. Jesus, did he look stupid. What is it with your American Republicans falling down all the time? Gerald Ford couldn't walk 3 feet without tripping over himself. No wonder his old lady was in the pantry drinking the mop and glow. She had to deal with being married to a guy who couldn't stand as well as a sock puppet. I mean, FDR had better luck trying to walk than this clumsy bastard. Then there was Bob Dole taking a header off that platform during his campaign. If only he realized then what Baba's key was to winning the election. You don't go down, you get the fat putas to go down on you. My favorite, though, was that Gary Bauer. He flips the flapjack and then himself. And that's why instead of the White House, you'll find him at the International House of Pancakes. There's something about this Rick Lazio, though, that is endearing. He's got that boyish, fresh-scrubbed, Richie Cunningham grown-up kind of look. Very attractive. He couldn't be more clean-cut. He makes Donny Osmond look like the Antichrist, which is refreshing, especially when you consider he's replacing a grumpy, saliva-spraying, hairdo-challenged despot with a Napoleon complex, and that he's the alternative choice to a cynical, shallow, disingenuous, lying piece of who thinks the world revolves around her fat ass. I mean, when I first saw Lazio taking that tumble, I instinctively looked to the curb, expecting to see a familiar, baloney-sized, pants-suited leg withdrawing quickly into the crowd. Because, you know, it wouldn't be beyond that evil bruja to literally try to trip him up. She'd force-feed a diabetic a Hershey bar if she thought it would help her to win the election. So just one word of advice to you, little Ricky. You do like we do here in the joint. You don't turn your back for a second. Otherwise, you might find yourself falling down again, only this time next to the cannon in the park, if you know what I'm saying.
Hey, mama said the way you move gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove. I'm in the morning.
All right, when it comes to investing in the stock market, buyandhold.com encourages you to buy stocks in good companies and hold on to them for the long term. Educate yourself about the benefits of long-term investing at buyandhold.com and start investing today by opening an account with buyandhold.com. You can easily build your own portfolio with the amounts that's right for you. At buyandhold.com, you can start investing with as little as $20 or as much as you like, which means you can buy fractional shares. It is a lot like building your own mutual fund. And it only costs $2.99 each time you buy or sell, no matter what level of investor you are. Buyandhold.com is for you. So, buyandhold.com accounts are great if you're just starting out. You want to invest for you and your baby, or put some away for them little apes. So get online there and check them out at buyandhold.com, BUYANDHOLD.com. Buyandhold.com, Securities Corporation, member NASD, SIPC.
Is application deployment slowing you down? It's time to move.
Yeah, Imus in the morning. In your shorts, 2020 sports.
And here with all of it, probably pretty bummed about the Knicks getting blown out in Indiana, is Patrick McEnroe. Good morning, Mr. McEnroe.
Very, very bummed, Mr. Imus. Pacers over the Knicks 88-79 and take a 3-2 lead in the Eastern Conference Final. The Knicks blew an 18-point first-half lead as they scored just 23 points over the second and third quarters. The second quarter was particularly horrific for New York as they missed 14 of 16 shots and scored only 8 points. Patrick Ewing, returning to the lineup after sitting out 2 games, looked sprightly in the first quarter as he scored 9 points, but could manage only 4 the rest of the way, thus doing little to squash speculation that the Knicks are better off without the big fella in the lineup, particularly against Indiana. The Knicks are 1-4 over the last 2 playoff years against Indiana with Ewing in the lineup, and 5-1 when he has not played.
He looked like when he had the ball down in wherever it is, down near the basket, and he mishandled it.
That would be in the paint.
In the paint. It kind of dribbled out toward the, and he went after it, and he looked like George Burns trying to get a cab. Honest to God, I mean, it was. I mean, I know the guy's.
He's a warrior.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. I mean, get out of the. Just sit down.
Well, he sat for most of the game, actually, after the first quarter. He only played 20 minutes. But he actually got worse as the game went on.
I mean, it's not going to help him. Not going to win with him.
Did not look pretty. The Knicks have never won at Conseco Fieldhouse, and Allen Houston may just have figured out why.
It's like it was a hangover, and that's why we haven't been able to get a win here.
That's right. The Gatorade's juiced. They're jugging it there.
Well, I shouldn't say they're not going to win without him, because how would I know that? I wouldn't. But just listening to.
Well, it just looks like particularly in this matchup against Indiana, that when he's not in the lineup, everyone else gets more involved. They run more. With him, they get a bit stagnant on the offense.
Now I want the Knicks to win. I'm rooting for the Knicks.
Right, and here we're up against the wall.
And I keep thinking about when Mark Jackson's wife sang the national anthem at Madison Square Garden when he was a Knick, which is one of the most offensive versions of it I have ever heard. Right. Ever heard. Right. Self-indulgent. It was beyond hideous.
Did you like his X last night? Mark Jackson? Did you see that?
No, I don't.
He did an X, crossed his
arms.
arms.
I did see that, yeah.
It's a cross.
He's a nitwit. He's a total moron.
He claimed that was not in response to Larry Johnson's L.
I mean, he's just. There's just no way to even.
Well, he's a former Knick.
Yeah, he's just a moron.
It says it all.
Yeah. Reggie, I'm sick of Reggie, by the way. Mm-hmm. His sister's better than he is.
Get used to him.
Yeah.
So. Especially Friday night. At the Garden. The Knicks will win Game 6.
Yeah, we know.
We know that.
They've got to go back there and win, don't they, Lou?
Well, if they win Friday, they have to play the next game in Indiana. That's how the schedule's working.
What are you, mocking the I-Man?
But you know who that's like talking to? My wife. That's the kind of responses I get. When she's irritable, you know?
Yeah. Well, moron.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm well aware of that.
Outfit looks great.
Anyway.
Not good.
Go ahead, Patrick.
Well,
not good.
Pacer coach Larry Bird
not good.
has listened to some of his own players take pot shots at him throughout the series, much like what's happening to the I-Man this morning. Now his team is a game away from the NBA Finals. Here's Bird's outlook for Game 6.
This is the first time they've been in this situation, I think, with 2 games to play. So they want to try to go to New York and get a win.
Try? Not real confident going into MSG. They're going to rely on a Game 7 win.
Well, Larry won't be handing out any books to his team, will he?
Mets lose to the Dodgers 4-3 as Kevin Elster hits a game-winning homer in the bottom of the 9th.
Oh, that's a big old dumb white boy, ain't he? Jesus God.
The Mets had tied the game, I-Man, at 3 in the 8th, but then reliever... Excuse me, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go.
Does everybody hate Doug Collins or just me?
I don't hate him.
I guess just you.
He's a little clueless. But he's
Don't hate him.
How about Bill Walton and Snapper Jones?
They're entertaining.
I
like Steve. I like Steve Jones, and I like Walton.
Do you like Steve Summers?
Yeah.
He'll be returning to the fan 6:30 tonight.
This is huge. That's just great. Because he explored all those other options, and none of them panned out. Huh?
Oh, yeah. Chose this one.
Patrick McEnroe here on the Amos Morning program.
Amos in the morning.
Staten Island University Hospital's Brain Radio Surgery Center has pioneered.
I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you about my town. I'm going to tell you a big fat story, baby. It's all about my town. Yeah, down by the river. Down by the banks of the river Charles. That's what's happening, baby. That's where you'll find Amos in the morning.
All over America.
What I was saying.
Well, yeah. Still waiting for news on the Alien Gonzalez deal. Coming up at 11, I believe.
Out of Havana on an inner tube, adrift to the Atlantic Ocean. There was a Cuban boy, a 6-year-old boy, who started all of the commotion. He washed up on shore. He washed up on shore. No, I can't take no more. No más, por favor. He was Miami bound, but his mama done drowned. Little problem with her flotation. Papa said he can't stay in the U.S. of A. Fidel don't approve of immigration. Send him on his way. It's time that kid was going. Send him on his way. I'm sick and tired of looking at his face. No more ring around the rosy. Send him back to Havana. Kick Elian's culo back down to Cuba. Kick Elian's culo back down to Cuba. Now the end of the drama is two grandmamas over here with their bilingual please. Like another Bay of Pigs, soon this kid'll be big enough to play center field for the Yankees. Send him on his way. It's time that he was going. Send him on his way. I'm sick and tired of looking at his face. I'm all ring around the rosy. Send him back to Havana. Kick Elian's culo back down to Cuba. Kick Elian's culo back down to Cuba. Already have more Cubans than Bill stuck in Monica. It brings a tear into my eyes when I begin to realize I cried so much since you've been gone. I guess I'll drown in my own tears. Amos in the morning.
This spring, you
Cooper Tires from Jimmy at All Tire, 190 Rhine Avenue, Staten Island. I'm Lori McNichols with the Reuters Fan Highway Patrol.
So we learned from Mike Barnacle that Bud Collins, one of the foremost sports writers in the country, has been told by the publisher of the Boston Globe that he's too old to write for them.
An icon.
Well, he hasn't been told by the weasel Dick Ebersol at NBC Sports that he's too old to cover tennis for them.
No.
Quite the contrary. Well, how does that make any sense?
It doesn't. It makes no sense.
Well, how old is he?
I don't know.
Who cares?
What difference does it make?
He's sharp as ever.
Absolutely.
God bless you, Mike.
God bless you, Mikey.
Thank you. Jesus loves you.
Did he suddenly forget how to write?
I don't know. Well, you do have to know when to fold them, you know. Maybe it's time you got out. Maybe just, fool, wrap it up.
I don't think that's the decision that's being made here, I-Man.
Well, God bless you, Mike. What's the matter with you?
What's going on?
Something has got my nose sniffling.
Okay.
What are you wearing?
Got a toe ache.
Oh, my wife bought me some stuff. I don't know.
Cologne?
Yeah, she likes
That's
it.
what's doing it. Are you wearing cologne?
No, I don't have it on this morning, but...
No, thank heavens.
Goodness gracious.
Cologne?
Well, what's all that?
Well, come on.
That man's smelling good. Bud Collins? I mean, come on here. Well, it's absurd. Here's Hollywood Hogan on the program now. Good morning, Hollywood.
Stop the presses. Here's the story, brother. Front page banner headline, 72-point type. Your days are numbered. And given the limitations of that IQ of yours, I've got them down to the double digits so they'll be easier for you to count. You need to be taken out, brother. And not the way you're used to men taking you out for some dinner and then to the bathhouse to enter the buck and backside of it in the Rump Wrangler rodeo. There's no reason for you to still be alive, brother. You're a two-faced traitor. You scream and yell at that poor defenseless Arbitron dwarf program director about bringing you bad news about Brian Williams, and then you can't wait to deliver it to the intended victim himself. Hey, cable boy, the New York Post thinks you suck. Then you spend the next 15 minutes sucking up to him, and then 45 minutes later, you're giving him up to Barnacle, the king of the convoluted questions. What are you going to do when you have that sports writer looping his old man and kid in the studio on Monday? Get the little tyke to unplug Grandpa's iron lung? Hey, Grandpa, I left you a note on the kitchen table, and it says, goodbye, Pop, you're out of here. It's got to be genetic with you, brother. I don't know why your brother doesn't have the same taste for the jugular as you do, brother, but I guess there was a bit more chlorine on his end of the gene pool. You've got a strand or two missing out of your DJ DNA, brother, and it's time for Hogan to do a little splicing, because I'm the Watson and Crick of whoop-ass, ready to put a double helix hammer hole on your crocodile chromosomes.
You're the who of whoop-ass?
Watson and Crick, brother. Maybe you would have realized who they were if you went to school for longer than 5 minutes.
That's great, Hollywood. Thanks. What a creep. Time for sports with Drainpipe next.
Baby, you gotta love it. Imus in the morning, 2020 sports.
Childs, cross court right side, Houston for three, off the front rim and over the back.
Another bad day for the Knicks. Good morning, Mike Greenwood Sports. This sportscast sponsored by Dial-A-Mattress. A rough day for the Knicks. They didn't even play. The disappointing season now costing people their jobs. Ernie Grunfeld, no longer the president and GM. He's been reassigned.
Reassigned to what?
Scouting duties, consulting duties.
Why, do they have a contract with him and they don't want to pay off, or?
Well, they actually like him personally. He's been with the organization for 18 years, so they want to keep him around.
So let me see if I understand this. Now, this is the guy that's the president and the general manager of the New York Knickerbockers.
Correct.
And he's responsible for doing exactly what?
He's responsible for making trades, signing free agents,
right,
scouting college players.
And he makes all those decisions himself.
He's the one in charge, but he also goes to the president of the Garden, Dave Checketts.
Who would that be? The big phony Mormon, right?
Dave
big
Checketts.
yuppie Mormon geek.
The very fine
transparent,
Mormon.
slimy weasel.
I object to
Dave
those
Checketts.
comments.
Oh, well, he's a war criminal.
He's a good man.
He's a war criminal, isn't he, Charles? Dave Checketts is a war criminal.
He's a good man and a handsome man.
He's not a good man. He's a weasel. He's a backstabbing worm.
He's anything but a weasel.
Oh, God almighty. Blowing out Ernie Grunfeld? Show some guts. Get rid of those players. The players suck.
Well,
back the truck up, load them up, and get them out of here.
That may be one of the things.
Well, they nuts?
What did you say? Back the truck up?
Yes.
That's an interesting saying.
Load them up and get them out. They're firing Ernie Grunfeld? Like, what did Ernie Grunfeld do? Nothing.
It's unfortunate that the play on the court has cost him his job.
And then what's Dave Checketts going to do?
He's now taking over the day-to-day duties. So one of those duties he did yesterday. He fined Latrell Sprewell $25,000 for comments his agent made in yesterday's New York Post criticizing the organization.
Oh, well, that'll straighten that team out. That'll show him.
He also told Charlie Ward to knock off the preaching, not to use the locker room as a pulpit. It had to do with Ward's recent comments about women reporters in the locker room. Ward was asked if he was uncomfortable with females in the locker room because he may be embarrassed by shortcomings.
You never know.
Perhaps Ward not measuring up to NBA standards, and that's why he doesn't want the females seeing him.
Otherwise, he has a little tiny Mike Breen-like penis. What you're suggesting there? Yeah, unbelievable.
Is that what you got out of that?
How do you know that?
Well, here's Chris Russo now, prominent New York City talk show host. Boy, what a pleasure it was to listen to you and Fatso yesterday around 3 o'clock.
Oh, you're hot stuff. I'm becoming a regular on this show, Donald. How are you?
I mean, unbelievable. You and Tubbo screaming at each other about what?
We were pretty upset there for a while.
What were you
You do a talk show with the same guy 10 years, you're going to have your problems. You know that.
Well, what were you upset about yesterday?
To me, being the 8th seed in the playoffs, although I'm not trying to say give up the next 8 games, is not a big deal. I mean, the 8th seed, who cares? Knicks fans could care less, half of them. And Mike seems to think that that's a huge situation. To me, it's not a big deal. The New York Knicks should not be fighting their lives to be the 8th seed in the postseason. It's the New York Knicks.
Well, yeah, but I mean...
yeah, go ask a Knicks fan if they think he's going to get all pumped up on the Knicks being the 8th seed against the Orlando Magic. They don't care.
Well, let me tell you something.
What's that?
Once the playoffs start, Chris, it's a whole new season. Anything can happen.
Well, how many times in the history of the NBA, Don, has the 8th seed won a first round?
I don't know.
Once.
Oh. And who was that?
Denver beating Seattle.
Oh.
So it could happen.
So it could happen, in other words, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, the point is, Don, I mean...
yeah, but these rabid Knicks fans, they like any kind of game. I mean, Brokaw, he'd go to any game. Spike Lee, they'd go to any game. The fans...
Hey, no, I'm sorry. Spike Lee's not the type of guy I'm talking about. I mean, Spike's best buddy is... come on, you can't... You're talking... You're going to compare Spike Lee to the guy sitting in the blue seats?
Plus, hello, we'd like to sell some advertising during playoffs games, okay? Yeah. Nitwit face.
That's the point, though, Don. That doesn't affect any fan. They don't care if MSG does a game or two.
Last year...
You think the fan in the blue seats cares about that?
Time out a second, gerbil face.
Last year, as Chris is well aware of, the Knicks were a 7 seed.
Right.
And beat the 2 seed, Miami, heavily favored.
Right.
It was one in Game 5, a victory down in Miami. One of the most emotional wins for the Knicks in many, many years that fans, and even the fans in the blue seats, loved. And would love to see another matchup with Miami and have the opportunity to knock out Miami.
And, Mike, how long did that emotion last year?
Well, what difference does it make?
Right, that doesn't make any difference.
It lasted 3 days.
But I mean, that's what... I mean...
the next week they were killing Knicks for losing Indiana in Game 4.
Time out here, gerbil butt.
Oh, man.
But I did hear Francis yesterday. He is right about that. I mean, how long does anybody stay excited about anything? How long does Denver celebrates the Super Bowl? I mean, about 20 minutes. I mean, it's not a big deal.
How long do we celebrate the man's lung collapsing?
Yeah, I know. It happens about an hour, but that's what sports is all about. It's about these. It's a day-to-day situation, Chris.
I'm not trying to say not make the playoffs. I'm not trying to say that. But the Knicks the Madison Square Garden, the corporation, is so focused.
Well, Yankee fans are not still talking about the big World Series win last year.
You don't think?
No, they're bad mouthing. No, I heard him yesterday.
Yankee fans are talking about 125 and 50.
Not anymore. They're talking about this year. They're talking about the 4-game losing streak. They're talking about.
Let me ask you a question.
They're talking about the
fans aren't talking about 125 and 50. How come they're going to draw 3 million people for the first time in their lives?
They're talking about the fat loser from Boston or Toronto or wherever the hell he's from, who barely got through last night's game.
No, they're not.
Who Derek Jeter is sleeping with and what?
Yeah, that's exactly.
No, they're not.
Kind of panties Jeter's wearing.
You know, the point is, I'm not trying to say not make the playoffs.
I want you to lay off for Francis. I don't like your attitude.
Yeah. No, now you're mad at me.
We're going to beat the hell out of you when you come to the station today. If we didn't have to leave early to go to Maryland, we'd be lying in wait here for you.
What are you doing, a big show tomorrow in Hagerstown, Maryland?
We'd pants you when you got here. Of course, we'd like that. But
Hagerstown, Maryland. Oh, baby.
Mike Breen continues.
Want to make a couple of $1 million? Yeah. Go to a baseball game and get hit in the face with a ball. As a woman struck in the face by a wild warm-up pitch during a Florida Marlins game, awarded yesterday $2.5 million by a jury.
Wow.
For the injuries left her with lingering headaches and concentration problems. Lady's name is Linda Postlethwaite. She was injured by an errant pitch by Mitch Williams. Remember the wild thing? He was warming up in the bullpen in a game in August of '93 and didn't quite make it to the catcher. Ball fired up in the stands, hit her right between the eyes.
Right. You take balls to the chin in the Knicks locker room all the time. Why don't you, Sue?
I ain't looking to block you up, shock or knock or lock you up. I ain't looking for you to feel like me, see like me, or be like me. All I really want to do trance with you. Imus in the morning.
Perhaps you've seen some of those commercials for online.
City at the Beacon Theater from June 6th to 11th. I'm going. Call 212-307-7171. Ticketmaster for more information. Also, you go to sincity.com for more Penn and Teller info in general. Mike Walker, thanks. Hey, I love that guy. His new book, Malicious Intent, get it on Amazon.com. It's fun.
We ought to ask Mike Walker if Bob Hope was faithful.
Yeah, I was faithful. Stop looking into my fan, boy. I was just a comedian. I bet you my Bob Hope voice makes you miss Al Rosenberg. Thanks, Al Rosenberg. The great Ed McMahon for stopping by. Next week, we'll say hi to Carly Simon, Roger Ebert, Sinead O'Connor, Shannon Elizabeth, the hot babe from American Pie, who is gorgeous.
She's coming.
Yeah, she's coming here, and I'm going to try and look good that day. Yeah, boy. If you're lucky, you'll meet her, marry her like I married Dolores. Yeah, she's a good wife,
And
boy.
lived together 66 years.
66, wonderful year, boy. I had to go to Vietnam. I went to Vietnam to get away from her. Some guys just go to Vegas. Thanks for the memories, Robin.
You're quite welcome.
Yeah, now show me your memories. I said thanks for the memories.
Oh, that's what you said.
Yeah.
I thought you said memories.
Don't miss Stuttering John and the Donkey Show every Thursday night. For tickets, go to theatermania.com. John will be appearing with King Norris at the China Club.
Oh, really?
Monday night. To benefit Norda for Robbins. Oh. Yeah, everybody.
The Howard Stern Show. Clock Radio. K-Rock. Listen right after Howard.
Hard disk drive. Now at the Wiz with reports every 20 minutes. Rich Ackerman, WFAN 2020 Sports.
Tonight on The Fan, it's an NBA playoff Game 6 doubleheader. We'll start in the East as the Knicks host the Pacers at 7:05. Then we're off to Portland in the West for the Trailblazers and Lakers after the Knicks game. Our coverage begins with Knicks tip-off at 6:35, right after Mike and the Mad Dog, here on Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York.
Online at STSTire.com. STS Tire and Auto Centers. It's a trust thing.
Sports Radio 66, the Fan,
I actually was rooting for Portland last night because, you love Game 7s, and broadcasters root for games, and I was rooting for a 7th game. I will root for the Lakers very hard tomorrow because I can't, I don't like Wallace. I'm not a big Pippen fan. So I will root for the Lakers very, very hard tomorrow. But I like to see Game 7s, and I want to see how that Laker team responds, and they're in a pressure cooker now for this 7th game. And that'll be a fun game tomorrow. I do think they're going to win, though. I think...
2020 Sports. Keep your radio locked in to The Fan in the nighttime for Mets baseball. Then wake up to Imus in the morning from 5:30 to 10 a.m. here on Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York.
The pitch. Right, quick Warner Wolf. Man, what a weird-looking little dude. You suck, Warner.
Good morning, Warner.
Good morning, I'm The Simus in the Morning Sports Report is brought to you by Hackensack University Medical Center. In one of the great choke jobs of all time, the Blazers leading by 15 points in the fourth quarter and ready to complete a 3-game sweep and move into the final, missed 13 consecutive shots, going 8 minutes without a point, and lost to the Lakers 89-84. The Blazers outscored 31-13 in the final quarter, could not win on a night where the Lakers missed 17 foul shots, and the Shaq took a total of only 9 shots in the entire game. One big play, down by 4 with less than 30 seconds to play. The Blazers' Steve Smith drove the lane and was clobbered by the Shaq, and no foul was called. Kobe got the rebound, was fouled, and made both of them. So instead of a possible 2-point game, it was the Lakers by 6, and turn your sets off there.
Interesting.
After the no-foul call, the referee pulled out an NBC logo out of his pocket and waved it at the Blazer bench.
Winking.
Now, here's the play that put the Lakers ahead by 6 with 40 seconds to play, as called by Chick Hearn of KLAC.
Kobe's down the middle. He's in deep. Throws to Shaq. Slam dunk. The Lakers lead by 6. Portland should put the champagne away and get out the bottled water because that's all they're going to drink on their way home.
Now, after the game, Kobe was asked if that was a shot or a pass to the Shaq.
That was a pass all the way. I thought I threw the ball pretty high. And Shaq went up and got it. I was like, dang.
So it's the Lakers and the Pacers beginning Wednesday night. The question is, can Rick Smits guard the Shaq? Forget about it. Baseball, American League won 10 of the 15 against the National League yesterday. Interleague play, including the Yankees' 7-6 win over the Braves. For the second straight game, the Braves starter, in this case Terry Mulholland, gave up 13 runs. Before the game, John Rocker verbally abused Sports Illustrated writer Jeff Pearlman, who was the writer who wrote the now famous Rocker article last December. Included among Rocker's attack, "This isn't over, and you don't know what I can do to you." Here's Rocker's teammate, left fielder Brian Jordan.
It's hard enough to play this game, but every game you got to face, you got to hear one guy on your team being a cancer.
He's a cancer.
Whoa.
That's a little ugly.
Yeah. If you were going to bet on Fusaichi Pegasus in this Saturday's Belmont, you lost. The Kentucky Derby winner has pulled out because of a cut on his right front hoof.
Also, the horse that won the Preakness is not going to run, right?
That's right. He's out, too.
So there's no reason to watch this.
It's the first time in 30 years, I-Man, that both the Derby and Preakness winner will not be entered in the Belmont.
Wow.
And finally, as you know, Illinois basketball coach Lon Kruger broke his contract.
Well, Charles, you just sounded like that's about the last thing you cared about. What Warner just said.
Well, I think it's...
Well, you're talking about
there's mild interest in that kind of,
Did you pick up on that, Warner?
Yeah, I noticed.
Mild interest.
Charles
goes, that's like I do people. Oh, really?
You don't say.
Yeah, really? That was awful.
I mean, that's the first time that's ever happened?
Oh, man, Warner, you got dissed big time there by the C-Man. What you were saying, and finally, Warner.
And finally, as you know, before I was dissed by Charles, Illinois basketball coach Lon Kruger broke his contract and left Illinois to become the head coach of the Atlanta Hawks.
Really?
So they asked. So when they asked one Illinois basketball player who was personally recruited by Kruger, they asked him how he felt with the coach leaving. He said, "Well, when Kruger recruited me, he never said he'd be here all 4 years." Very interesting.
Did he say that, really?
For Hymus of the Morning Sports,
not in the Preakness.
This is Warner Wolf.
Hey, Bernie.
Yo.
You get Breen back on the phone? I'm kidding around.
That's
piling on.
It's coming up on 5 minutes till the hour here on the I'm Mr. Wayne program. Well, we're going to talk with Michael Murphy, who is a political consultant, and he's engineered a number of winning campaigns, 16 of them, I believe, Charles. Out of 18 he's been involved in.
And a stunning 2 weeks here for Rick Lazio, correct?
Right.
All right.
And we don't know how much of this stunning poll results that have fallen in the lap of Rick Lazio that Mr. Murphy has had anything to do with. But we would assume a lot, wouldn't we?
He's got to be doing something right.
And even if he didn't have anything to do with it, one would hope he would take credit for it.
Well, certainly.
First, maybe he could explain this McCain debacle.
Well, was it a debacle?
Well,
as Bernie pointed out, rose above expectations.
They're like the Portland Trailblazers.
Come on.
McCain was.
That is so weak. That is just pathetic.
Hymus in the morning. Hello, everyone. This is...
Just got our license renewed.
Yeah.
What a nightmare.
Yep.
The amusing part to watch is the inordinately fat people who work there, who try to maneuver themselves around their workstations in the back of the counter, which is actually laughable. Deirdre was number 333, so she finally gets called. And she knows she's in trouble when she walks up to the counter and there's this 300-pound moose sitting there and looks at her and says, "What do you want?" They're fat, surly, and they stink at the DMV.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Hymus in the morning.
They hate Deirdre when she's blonde and pretty. They hate her when she walks up to the window.
Can I help you, bitch?
Yeah, absolutely. That is not an exaggeration. What you want, bitch?
Get your breasts off the counter. See them.
Hymus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
I discovered the world of award-winning designer Joseph Abboud. He's our guy, you know.
You probably know Abood for the signature cut of his luxurious suits and jackets, but the world of Joseph Abood offers many other products to fit your lifestyle. Soft structured jackets and microfiber.
Highway Patrol.
Imus in the Morning, 2020 Sports.
Morning, this is Patrick McEnroe for Imus in the Morning Sports. Good morning, Charles.
Hi, P-Mac.
What's up? Rookies John Madden and Brian Rafalski scored 77 seconds apart in the third period, and the Devils snared a 3-1 lead in the Stanley Cup Finals with a 3-1 victory last night in Dallas. They swept 2 games.
It's huge. In
Dallas, Sergei Brelin had tied the game 2.5 minutes earlier before Madden scored shorthanded to put New Jersey ahead for good. Devils goalie Martin Brodeur was spectacular in the nets again. He has allowed just 7 goals in the 4 games in the series. Late in the game, while the Devils were on a power play, Darian Hatcher hit Devils center Jason Arnott in the face, although the hit was in full view of the capacity crowd and the other 200 people watching on ABC.
That's ugly.
Neither ref called a penalty.
Oh, my God.
Hatcher summed up the Stars' predicament.
Well, not too many happy faces around here right now, and obviously we're pretty down right now. We're pretty disappointed right now.
Yeah, I'd say so. Not to mention a cheap shot against Jason Arnott. He should have been suspended, Charles. He should be out for the rest of the series.
Get him out.
But not
Calm
even
down, McEnroe.
Not even a penalty called on the man.
Jeez.
Are you back, I-Man?
Hey, yeah. Hey, when did Steak Shapiro call your agent?
Well, when I spoke to my agent, who I think was early last week, that's when he mentioned it to me. He didn't specify. He said, we just got a call from Steak Shapiro, so I assume it was that day or the day before.
Oh, because, very, very good information. Very interesting information here.
Mm-hmm. Well, what is he claiming?
Well, he's claiming. What's he claiming, Charles?
Well, that this is something that predated McEnroe, for crying out loud.
This happened before you went to work on the program.
Right. What a worm.
Scary. But hardly surprising.
Now, who represents you?
Sandy Montag at IMG.
Okay. Well, what did they tell Mr. Shapiro?
What do you think?
Well,
get out. No, I don't know what they told him.
Oh, you don't?
No, I mean, I'm assuming. I'm making an assumption there, but maybe they'll represent Steak. Who knows?
Jeez.
Represent him for what? That's another question.
Of course, now Steak's position is if the IMG could get you the gig on this program, they could. But I mean, they had nothing to do with it.
Absolutely nothing to do with that.
Your dad called me.
Sure.
And then when we thought, oh God, how do we get out of this?
Right.
And then we tried you out, and you were great, and so that's how you had nothing to do with your agent.
So basically, I got it.
Yes, you did get it.
Right.
Okay.
This is a meritocracy here.
Yeah.
You come, you perform. If you can do the job, you get another chance. You keep going.
Well, Bernie, we need to confront Steak with this latest information.
Right. He lied yesterday.
Yes, he did. All right, what else going on, Mac?
Well, what else is the NBA Finals, of course, open tomorrow night in L.A., but the repercussions of the 2 conference finals are still reverberating. The New York Knicks cleaned out their lockers the other day. Latrell Sprewell, who was the only Knick that showed up in their final loss to Indiana, was asked if he would welcome any changes to the ball club.
Depends on who you're talking about bringing here, you know. If you're telling me we're getting Tim Duncan, then, I'd be excited about that.
Sure you would, yeah, because you know what that would mean, I-Man? I mean, he'd replace Patrick Ewing. That's not going to happen.
No.
Ewing
refused to look back. He only wants to look towards the future with the Knicks.
I'm very happy with my teammates. We had a good year. I'm disappointed that we didn't beat Indiana to get to the finals, but hopefully next year we'll accomplish that.
Well, now we're talking about just getting to the finals.
Man,
every other year, we're going to come back and win the championship.
Yeah.
So certainly the Knicks have some changes to make in the offseason.
I mean, it really is over.
Hey, you are done.
I mean, he and Jack Nicholson. Did you say Jack Nicholson?
That was scary.
Well, I mean, that was just embarrassing. Honest to God, it looks like Aunt B in a butch haircut. Gesturing. Oh, God, I mean, it made you Jack Nicholson. They're supposed to be cool.
Right. I mean, how many more cutaways could NBC do to celebs? I mean, would they have, these program guys working just to find these people in the crowd?
Yeah.
Now, there's a game going on.
And the celebs, by the way, I'm now an Indiana Pacer fan, incidentally. So.
Well, what? Excuse me?
But now they're going to be there.
Wait, hold on a second.
Yeah.
What did you just say?
I said I am now an Indiana Pacer fan. My man, Larry Bird, and Reggie Miller, the Laker killer. That's where I'm coming from.
Have you been sniffing too much dung out there?
Larry Legend.
What's going on? You've been out there 2 days. Hello?
No. I mean, well, Bernard and Lou opened my eyes yesterday. It was not pretty.
Man had an epiphany. Absolutely.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Yep.
And rolling into June, all that stuff. Now we're in June.
Now rolling through nothing. I hate them all.
Rolling through the celeb B list.
Yeah. Oh, God almighty. Every loser celebrity on the planet sitting there watching them. And what pushed me over the edge was Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson gesturing toward the camera with a big. Oh God! I can't even think about it.
Looking like just so embarrassing. When he would put his four fingers up.
Yeah.
Look like
Rob
Mr. Magoo.
Reiner and Penny Marshall and just every and Glenn Fry, the loser eagle.
Pete Sampras
and
fresh off that impressive French Open performance.
And Magic Johnson.
Brian Wilson.
Is she Brian Wilson there? It's unbelievable. And then moron Dustin Hoffman with a Canon camera. Don't take a Canon camera any place.
God.
No, it's outrageous.
No, you can't support them.
Oh, that's harsh.
And Jack Nicholson. That's really just. That is awful. Yeah. That's like when at Thanksgiving your grandmother gets drunk.
Exactly.
You just. Oh man.
Triggers a gag.
Let him go. He'll fall asleep.
And here's another thing. Nicholson has got courtside seats, and he wears binoculars to look at what? What is he looking at?
Who the hell?
Look at the ass on that bitch in the upper deck.
That's one. I think you're right.
Yeah, take a look.
That's awful, man. Excuse me.
So you're going for Indiana? Maybe.
Yes.
How many games?
Well, I don't have any prediction. I just want them to win. I don't think they will, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Lakers will win, but
I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people
you do?
are saying. I think so.
I think Lupica told us yesterday that didn't he, Charles, that the Lakers, that the Pacers had a chance.
Yes, he did.
What do you think, Lou?
I think it's going to be 6 or 7.
They all thought the Knicks were going to win. Everybody did.
Oh, we hoped.
Lupica, McEnroe, and Ruffino.
What about you, Bernard?
Princess.
The Lakers are going to kill the Pacers.
Oh, boy, you're so boring.
Bernard has no clue, by the way. And Bernard is such a transparent hypocrite.
He just
this is the guy.
How do you figure?
He was the guy taking courtside seats and going out to dinner with John Starks when Starks was playing for the Knicks.
I didn't go out to dinner with him.
And up to the Foxwoods Casino.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting in a limo after the game.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, come on, Bernard.
I sat courtside and I tripped Charles Oakley one time.
Man, that is just...
You heard about...
Anything else? We have about a minute.
Well, yeah. Did you hear about John Rocker?
No, I did, but tell me.
He's been demoted to the minor leagues and fined $5,000 by the Braves for his confrontation with SI's Jeff Pearlman on Sunday. Rocker will pitch for Richmond in the International League. No reports on D battery sales in Richmond, Virginia. The Braves said they optioned Rocker to Richmond strictly because of his performance on the field.
Well, why didn't they do it 2 weeks ago? Warner Wolf said that.
No, he's
been
horrible.
pitching well for 2 weeks.
Well, we'll find out. You can hear right now from Braves GM John Sherholtz.
We've been talking about this for some time. The other incident has nothing at all to do with this decision.
Sure.
You lying weasel.
That pretty much wraps up sports for...
By the way, Steak Shapiro at Sports Talk 790, The Zone, our big affiliate, the Sports Authority in Atlanta. Where do you think he was when this confrontation was going on in the dugout there at Turner Field?
He's probably figuring out when he could call the I-Man.
Calling your agent.
That too.
One of the biggest events in recent Atlanta sports history. And where was Steak Shapiro?
Not there.
No, not there.
Do your job.
In the morning.
Wayne Lincoln Mercury, the #1 Tri-State Lincoln and Mercury dealer. Do you want to know who the #1 dealer for Lincoln and Mercury in the Tri-State area is?
Yes, it's the familiar battle cry of TV lovers who love DirecTV.
Here's Fan Highway Patrol.
Imus in the morning, 2020 sports. Here's a soundbite for you, Larry. If you were looking for a world-class sportscaster, you lost. Here's Warner Wolf.
Good morning, Warner.
Good morning, I-Man. The American League continues to wipe out the National League in interleague play. Last night, American League wins it 10-3, including the White Sox, who beat the Reds 17-12. 29 runs, 31 hits, but none for Ken Griffey Jr., now hitting .214. Barry Bonds hit number 25. He's only 2 home runs behind Mark McGwire's record-breaking 1998 pace. John Rocker has until tomorrow to report to the Braves AAA Farm Club in Richmond, but says Richmond City Council member John Conrad goes somewhere else. We already have enough loudmouth racists in Richmond, and we don't need any more.
Whoa.
The Lakers 8-point favorite over the Pacers. Game 1 tonight in Los Angeles. The Shaq was asked about not being recognized as a great player until you win a ring.
If you tell me John Stockton and Karl Malone isn't great, I'll punch you in your face. If you tell me Pistol Pete Maravich wasn't a great player, I'll punch you in your face. I think that, guys like that are great. Barkley, Ewing, Mourning, Sean Bradley.
Who was the last one you said?
Sean Bradley.
Sean Bradley. I'm a funny guy.
Yeah, he is. French Open, Hingis Pierce, Sanchez Vicario, and Conchita Martinez move into the women's semis. Today, Albert Costa against Franco Squilleri. How's Bud Collins going to build up that match?
Oh, well, he will, believe me.
And here's a new defense, man.
I wonder, I saw you in Geraldo.
Oh, yeah.
That's a pretty good appearance.
Yeah, plug in my book. Let's go to the videotape.
No, I mean, that was fine, but I mean, they were asking questions about what were they asking questions? Oh, the John Rocker deal.
Right, Rocker and Ray
I thought
Lewis.
you were great, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much.
I just happened to...
I thought Warner was a suspect in the John Benet Ramsey case when I tuned in. What did Warner do now?
No.
Who did he kill?
I appreciate
I thought maybe, you'd found OJ's the real killer.
I'm going to be on Clay Kilborn tonight, Los Angeles.
What happened?
The Late Late Show.
Well, that's great, Warner.
Yeah. Oh, you like that too?
Well, we don't. I mean, we saw you on Geraldo. It's great.
Oh, it's good. Yeah.
Well, why are you still humping the book?
Oh, because it's
Let's
Father.
Let's go to the video.
Right.
Oh, it is a good Father's Day gift.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Yeah. Come on, yo.
Yeah, sell it.
Let's go to the videotape.
Right.
Good Father's Day deal.
That's right, man.
You said the Lakers are favored by 8 tonight. Who do you like?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's nobody there to guard the Shack. Rick Smits disappeared against the Knicks. Where's he going to be against the Shack?
Well, I've switched my allegiance to the Indiana Pacers. Are you aware of that?
Oh, man. How can you go this far? And going through all that trouble, down 3-1, and now you're going to dump them. I can't believe it.
We'll get back to that in a minute, Warner. Is big money running democracy? Would you buy a robot pet? Should you get a refund after seeing a bad movie?
Dude who played the backward messages. It was very interesting. I learned a lot.
What was his name?
Well, they don't have the plugs here for me, guys. Got to do it. Don't miss Stuttering John and the Donkey Show. I know I told you to take away the plugs, but put them on the side. Want to thank Slash. His record with Snake Pit will be out in September. And I'm sorry.
Ain't Life Grand.
Don't miss Stuttering John and the Donkey Show every Thursday night. For tickets, go to stutteringjohn.com. Oh, you took his plug away. That's Harley Simon. All right.
The Howard Stern Show. Rock Radio. Rock.
What is this?
Heineken.
Heineken. Oh, boy.
I woke up this morning with a bad hangover, and my penis was missing again. This happens all the time. It's detachable. This comes in handy a lot of the time. I can leave it home when I think it's going to get me in trouble, or I can rent it out when I don't need it. But now and then I go to a party, get drunk, and the next morning I can't, for the life of me, remember what I did with it. First I looked around my apartment and I couldn't find it, so I called up the place where the party was. They hadn't seen it either. I asked them to check the medicine cabinet, because for some reason I leave it there sometimes, but not this time. So I told them if it pops up to let me know. I called a few people who were at the party, but they were no help either. I was starting to get desperate. I really don't like being without my penis for too long. It makes me feel like less of a man, and I really hate having to sit down every time I take a leak. After a few hours of searching the house and calling everyone I could think of, I was starting to get very depressed, so I went to the Kiev and ate breakfast. Then as I walked down 2nd Avenue towards St. Mark's Place, where all those people sell used books and other junk on the street, I saw my penis lying on a blanket next to a broken toaster oven. Some guy was selling it. I had to buy it off him. He wanted $22, but I talked him down to 17. I took it home, washed it off, and put it back on. I was happy again, complete. People sometimes tell me I should get it permanently attached, but I don't know. Even though sometimes it's a pain in the ass, I like having a detachable penis.
You gotta love songs about penises. Matthew Geiger.